card this time straight into screenshots or whatever this is. I don't know. So you can see my desktop and see some of the work I've been doing. 100 days of making comics. We are on, what is it, day 21, 22. So this is the last 2 days. I've done probably 5 or 6 hours. I didn't record the time exactly, but basically a couple hours of sketches, a couple hours more of like these character sheets of the cast, and then a couple hours of actual writing to try to organize some of these scripts or concepts or topics or whatever they might be. Anyway, straight into it. Here's the first set of sketches. Again, staying with the action poses. This one here with the rope bag will probably be an Inktober drawing for later today. I'll finish that up as rope is one of the tools that we use quite a bit. This here on the right was going to be sort of a firefighter messing around with the Jenga thing and kind of getting a sweaty pose out of that deal. Not sure what I'm going to do with that. I don't even know if I really like it. It's kind of a sideways thing, so I guess the background would have to be a big deal in that one. This action pose up here is kind of a like classic comic book type, I guess, type position. You know, I just have to choose to put a tool in his hand, and maybe that'll be another Inktober drawing. But I like the direction of that. I like the motion, the action, the energy in that. So I'm gonna try to keep things going in that direction. All right, moving on to the next one. The next piece here, this is pretty much the cast. This is the cast I've been working with in my head for the last 5 or 6 years. Some variation here and there, but the last probably 3 years, this has been fairly concrete. I feel like I've developed sort of, in my mind, each of these characters or personality types into characters, and this 8, and there might be 1 or 2 other supporting cast members to come in and sort of fill the void as sort of I don't know, background characters. We can call them background characters. But we're gonna have a paramedic. Let me choose a different tool here so you can I can point and you can kind of see. There, it's a little bit better. So over here in the upper left, we've got sort of a paramedic character. He's always had sort of a long face and a big nose and these big ears. I don't know when I do silhouettes of each of these characters when they're not wearing helmets, they make a little bit more sense, but because of the black and the helmets, it sort of gives a silhouette to the back, so it's dark in the back, and sort of gives these characters a little bit more character. I don't know how many times. We would probably go back and count how many times I say character. But anyway, so this would be my firefighter paramedic character. He's going to be used mostly for the medical, I don't want to say jokes, but the medical topics. He'll be involved in most of that. This Jake's character, which is sort of what I named it after, named the comic after, he's been here and there in a whole bunch of different iterations. Lately in my head, this character where it's a little bit thinner on top, square, basically a square chin, and kind of a simple pear shape, I guess we would call it. He's been my guy in my head. The ears are real low, and I don't know. For me, that's giving him a lot of character. It's sort of going to be my quintessential firefighter in the whole situation here. A training officer, classic firefighter mustache, smart guy. So I tried to put glasses on him. A little bit older, so he's the training officer. Gives him some weather, some age. That guy is going to be absolutely there for giving out sort of like fire prevention stuff, tips and tricks. He's going to be the guy who knows everything there is to know about firefighting. He's going to be a salty character, and he'll show up in most of the real sort of educational learning type things. If there's a narrator to any of those, this is the guy that's going to do it. Upper right hand corner is the nerdy firefighter. I always pictured this guy as being sort of like a Trek nerd, or a pump operator, or really technical, really mathematical. you know, the guy in the Leroy Jenkins video that calculates the, you know, the percentage that they'll be able to do it, do a particular task, you know, with a repeating number at the end. This is the guy that's going to do it. If there is a math joke or scenario or a highly technical situation, this nerdy firefighter guy is going to be, he's it. He's going to be the go-to guy for that. Bottom left is the guy that I've always named Lou, or Lieutenant. He, you know, short for lieutenant. He's got the mustache, classic, quiet, quintessential firefighter who's been promoted to officer, and his, you know, he's going to be the boss in most of these scenarios, or most of these comics. He'll be the guy in charge. I always pictured him as being a very easygoing, easy to work for. Will do absolutely anything for his guys, and his main goal in life is to make sure that his crew is safe and gets home every night. And so anyway, he's gonna be like the ultimate role model out of all of this, and so this will be the guy to look up to. The female firefighter here, I've thrown around a bunch of different names, and I don't know if a name really fits. I feel bad that it's just a girl firefighter. You know, I feel female needs to be represented in the strip. She's not going to be held to anything different for as far as standard or comics. I'm going to try not to point out the male-female role. She's just going to be a firefighter on the truck with the rest of these guys doing her job. And I think, you know, for me, bringing light to this scenario is just by incorporating her into, you know, I don't want to separate the female from the males or anything like that. I feel like if she's the same as everybody else, then that'll make her a better role model or a better firefighter. And I'm not trying to make a difference. I just want to make something funny or make somebody smile or learn something from it. So she may or may not bring up some gender roles, but I'm mostly going to stay away from politics and gender and religion and stuff like that. Guy next to her is a muscly guy. I've dubbed him Steak, like meat, steak in the past. He's right now just going to be this muscle guy. Picture him being sort of a slightly smaller Incredible Hulk. Not the smartest, you know, the typical big guy, not the smartest person there, lovable teddy bear, knocks down walls with, like, you know, a flick of the finger. Anyway, Muscle is pretty easy character there. I really enjoy the way he looks with like a real big chin that's sort of soft and square, and then these a little bit larger ears that are low, and then most of its features real small, or, you know, comparatively small to some of the others, smaller and then up towards the top. And then if we go back to the girl firefighter, the only way in my character design, for some reason, the only way I really delineate between males and females is, you know, obviously the hair, so the braids in this case, but these little 3 eyelashes on either side, and a lot of times I put them at the top too, but in this case to the side, and their eyes, I try to make females' eyes bigger than the other characters, or not, you know, at least proportionately to their face. Lieutenants are probably a little bit bigger than they need to be, but, you know, just quick sketches. So this is how I'm trying to separate each of these characters and make them individual, make them their own. Here on the end is the chief. He's mostly going to be the I don't know, a lot of times the boob in a lot of these jokes, just because, I don't know, he's the face of the department, and that's just the way it is a lot of times when you're at the bottom looking up. It's not really fair to the position, but they, you know, it's kind of, I don't know, I guess it's their role. They're usually a little bit older, and in my vision, the chief is this short, pudgy guy with a small mustache. And I don't know if it's because that's the way a lot of chiefs have been depicted, or, you know, obviously not John Travolta in Ladder 49, but I don't know. Super smart guy, nice guy, but just is sort of out of touch with everything else. And, you know, it's his position. He's supposed to sit in the office. He's supposed to be the administrator and interface with the politics in town and be that liaison between things. So he's a different type of character than the rest, but he's there, and this is the 8 characters that mostly make up, mostly are going to make up the cast of, or at least the fire and the EMT side of things in the comic. I have probably a dozen or so other characters that are just background characters, so I'll try to draw those up and at least have reference sheets for myself as I go forward, so then I can always fall back to these guys for you know, a little bit more design consistency, I guess, each in between the characters. The next step I should go to is probably to take each one of these and do a like an emotion sheet. So I draw each of them as happy, angry, you know, nervous, every one of those emotions, and then I'll truly have a character sheet. For the last 2 days, still with a broken toe, still hurts a lot, still not back to work, and that really sucks. Went over the sketches, went over the faces. That's the bulk of what I've done in the last couple of days. What else do I have here? I've got the last video, you could hear me tapping the microphone a lot. I'm using a Blue Snowball to record all my audio, and for some reason I had like a nervous tick, and I was tapping the base of the mic stand. So I apologize for that. You probably heard more than enough of that, so that probably really sucked. The other thing that I've been working on is getting an Etsy shop up and running, because for some reason I think maybe Etsy is the place to go to check out like posters and prints and buttons and stickers, and hopefully stickers in the near future. So I went ahead and started an Etsy store. It's notoriouslb3.etsy.com if you want to go check it out and see what's up there. There's just 2 posters of evolution of the fire truck and evolution of my evolution of the ambulance. Those have been up on my store, and I've sold, you know, an okay amount of those, and you know, as part of trying to make this artist thing a part-time job and part of my, I guess, my retirement plan or second career, which would be my first career that I gave up to be a fireman, to go back and also do a second career. Well, I guess this time I'm drawing what I want to draw, whereas before I was designing and drawing and illustrating stuff for clients. This time it's for me, which hopefully is for you, because you will like it and maybe buy it. Anyway, check out the Etsy store. I'll let you know how that goes, and we're 22 days in today, so 78 more days to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe.